You want to make something of it? No. This is Denise Crosby, ladies and gentlemen.
My partner in crime, Brent Spiner. Oh, this is good, guys.
Well, you tossed this to, can you get it all the way to the back row?
I just want to throw this thing, man. Can I? Oh, I'm talking in the box.
Is this on? Is this on? Can you hear me? Yes. I guess this is working. Well, thank you so much for coming. I can't believe you waited this long. Because, you know what? Have you been to any of the other panels? Yeah, they don't compare to this one. This is the best panel you will see. And with that, we'll say goodnight. No, we're here. Do you want to sit? Shall we stand? Do you want to sit?
Whatever,
Do you want to?
whatever. I'm following your
But can
lead.
they see us if we sit? In the back, can you see us if we sit? Let's
Sure?
see. Let's see how that works
Okay.
out.
I'm just going to play with the box.
Can
Not
you see
touching
me
that line.
in the back? Can you see me if I lay down on the floor? All right. Okay. So.
Should we throw the box? Throw the box. Oh.
Throw the
Okay.
box. That is the silliest thing I've ever seen.
Oh my God! People are going to get injured.
You know, it's a good thing we both of us have an umbrella policy in case anyone is injured.
I didn't come prepared with any deep, meaningful questions. But
Please speak in the box.
Speak in the box.
Hello. Sorry about that. I didn't know that this was. Anyway, I didn't know this was a microphone.
Yeah.
I didn't have any deep, meaningful questions, but I saw a YouTube video where you do an impeccable impersonation of Patrick Stewart.
Ooh.
I was wondering if there's any way possible.
Are you talking to me?
I know yours is good. I hear Brent's is better.
Okay.
I was so looking forward to yours.
Oh man, I've been working for 2 months on that. And you asked, okay.
Wow. Well, there's one thing. No. I'd just like to say one thing, Denise. So good to see you again. Coming up next week.
Yes.
Is a day we have all been waiting for. St. Patrick's Day, they call it. And it happens every year. I love it. All right, sit down. Well, what happened to the box? You still have
there's
it.
the box.
You
Okay.
don't get to keep
Toss
it, sir.
the box.
Yeah. Oh, there you are.
Oh, good.
Okay, so this question is actually for my dad.
Yes.
He
Well,
grew
he's
up-
not
he's
here
a-
right now, but
He's
I'll
a big
be
fan.
your
and
dad if you like.
He,
Come here, little
All right,
boy.
enough of that. Enough of that. I'll be your daddy. That's why he was captain. All right, go ahead.
he's a big fan, and so of course I grew up watching The Next Generation. But he was just actually wondering how, for you as Data, how your acting kind of changed from the beginning to the end.
What did you call me? Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Because for Denise, it was just like that long. I mean, it was, well, it was.
It was, are you talking about yourself?
Well, you do remember, don't you?
I do. Like it was
right.
yesterday.
Yes. God, we've devolved into Donald
We
Trumpville,
need to
you know.
entertain ourselves. Wait, right? Right. Right. Let's not mention the name that shall not be mentioned.
So, in answer to your question, in all seriousness, what was your question?
Basically, how with your acting, how did it change from the beginning to the end in the new generation or the next generation? Sorry.
Well, it evolved. I'll tell you. Actually, I just think here was the deal. Seriously, Gene Roddenberry said in the very beginning to me that he said, "Here's my idea for Data." He starts as a blank slate. He's like a blank canvas, as far as being human is concerned. And as the series goes on and on and on, by the 7th season, he will be as close to being human as possible, and still not. And I think that's kind of the way they went. And the writers wrote it that way, and I just did whatever they wrote, basically. That's the kind of actor I am. It says it on the page. I repeat it. That's, yeah.
Good. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, the box. There
The
we
box!
Woo!
Be careful! Oh, no, a man injured by the box. Security! Oh. There she is.
Still got the moves. Still
Yep,
got the moves.
she still got the move. To my quarters, Tasha. Well, Tasha, nice to see you again. Do you
Kathy.
mind if I relax? All right. You go. All right.
God.
Yes, sir.
This is for you, Mr. Spiner. Would you please sing us the Lifeform song?
Yeah, I'm not allowed to do that by. It's a union violation. Life forms. I don't even remember it. I've only seen the movie once, and you've probably seen it more than I have, right?
I used to own it on VHS. I've seen it a few times.
Well, then perhaps you should sing the Life Form song.
In the box. Sing it in the box.
Into the box.
I don't
in the
wanna-
box.
I don't want to get in trouble with the union either.
In the box, Bob. Yeah. What is that?
That's from the famous Newlywed Game.
Oh.
Remember the new? Okay,
not in
yeah,
the-
okay.
yeah.
No, it was.
remember.
Stop.
It's a joke we
this
both
is
know
just
about.
really bad.
Yeah.
We are pathetic people.
Okay, so please, and a 1, and a 2.
I'll do it if we can duet it.
Duet it. Well, I'll try to follow your lead.
Life forms, you tiny little life forms,
You
you precious little life
forms.
Where are you?
You know, you could go on the road with that, and I'm not kidding. Do you know that? Do you know about this orchestral thing they're doing? The Star Trek orchestra symphony. Has anybody seen it? You saw it? You saw Cincinnati? You saw it in Cincinnati too? 2 days ago. Do you remember? I know it's a stretch. It was 2 days ago. Do you remember? Did they do the Lifeform song? You can't remember.
Oh
you
my
see?
God.
God, if only I'd met you yesterday. Do you remember? Did they do the? I think it was in the concert, and somebody told me it was. And here's why I ask: is because I actually own that song. I wrote that song, if you can call it that. I mean, but on the page it said, "Life forms, you tiny little life forms, etc. Data sings." That's all it said. And so we got to it that day, and we were getting ready to shoot, and I went, they said, "Are you ready?" And I went, "I guess so." And just out of the blue, I went, "Life forms, you funny little life forms, whatever." And then years later, a guy who worked in the music department at Paramount wrote me, and he said, "Hey, did you file that song with ASCAP, the musicians union? Because if you made that song up, you own the song, and they've been showing and selling, CDs that have it on it and all of that. And they didn't pay you any royalties, did they? So I went right to ASCAP. And I registered the song, and I now own that song. And yet, this orchestra, and I guarantee you they paid royalties to Paramount Pictures to play their songs. I've got a lawsuit that's worth at least $25, and
You should definitely pursue that.
I'm going to.
Yeah.
Is there a lawyer here that can? No. Okay. Who's got the box? You do. Yes, sir.
Well, first of all, Mr. Spiner, I want to say you are absolutely amazing on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Thank you.
All right, my question is, I know it must have been very difficult to create such a great character like Data without drawing some comparisons with Leonard Nimoy's Spock because of the emotions. How are you able to do it?
I'm a genius. It's really that simple. I had to draw on my own brilliance in order to be able to do it. No, you know what? I didn't even think about. There weren't really comparisons with Spock. I was compared to Laurence Olivier. No, I wasn't. There weren't any real comparisons to Spock. It was easy. It really was. I mean, the easy part about it was that I was playing an android, and there was no blueprint on how to play an android. And I knew that whatever I did would kind of be okay, because nobody would be saying, "Oh, an android would never do that," So I could do whatever I wanted. But there's been this fine tradition of android acting since me, and some before me. I think, wasn't Ian Holm before me in Alien? The first Alien was before Star Trek, yeah. And Ian Holm and what's that wonderful actor's name who was in Aliens?
Lance Hendrickson?
Lance Hendrickson, fabulous. Do you know Lance?
I do, yeah.
Wonderful, a nice guy.
A potter. He's an amazing ceramist.
He's one of these guys, Lance Hendrickson. There's certain actors who you see on the screen and they play really nice people, and they're really horrible in real life. And then there are guys who play like real monsters and scary guys, and they couldn't be nicer. Lance is one of the nicest people ever. But now, in this whole oeuvre of android acting, comes Alicia Vikander, who from Ex Machina, who I'm proud to share that distinction with, among other things, if I could. Well, anyway, there you have it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, if you catch it, you have to ask a question.
While we're on the subject of your singing and dancing, years ago we saw a movie, Out to Sea.
Yes.
I had no idea that you could do all that stuff, all the singing and dancing.
Well, why would you? I mean,
We don't want to hang out.
Till you see it, how would you know, really?
But how was that shoot? There were so many amazing actors in it.
It was incredible. Have you ever seen Out to Sea?
No.
Yeah. Out to Sea was, without a doubt, my favorite working experience I've ever had. It was a movie, not a very good movie, by the way, but not a very bad movie. I've made very bad movies. I'll tell you about those later. But Out to Sea was Jack Lemmon, Walter Matthau, Donald O'Connor, Elaine Stritch, Diane Cannon, Gloria DeHaven, Hal Linden. It was just unbelievable. And I got to hang out with Jack and Walter every day, which was like dying and going to heaven. It really was. I couldn't wait to get to work every day because they were so cool. And I mean, I could do an hour on that.
Was it on, you were on a boat?
We were on a boat.
Okay.
I was a cruise director. I was a British cruise director.
Oh, fun.
And which I think is, I'm very happy to play British, because generally it goes the other way, where all the British actors get to play Americans.
Yeah.
I got to play British, and I was a cruise director, a really horrible guy, and Jack and Walter were dancers. You know, they were, they hired these older guys on cruise ships to dance with the single women, and it was them and Donald O'Connor and Hal Linden were the dancers.
Oh, nice.
And
did you get to sing and dance?
oh yeah, I had
okay.
numbers.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to see it.
But I have this, like, my first number, I introduced myself from off stage, and I go, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, God.
the MS Westerdam is proud to present the one, the only. What was my name? Gil Godwin. And I go, thank you so much. And it was really fun.
Oh, good. Okay.
But I literally could do an hour about it because just stories about Jack and Walter and how cool they were. I'll tell you one quick story, okay? That I've told this before at conventions and gotten zero reaction. And it could be an actor story and a show business story, and if you're not in show business, it's not funny to you. But to me, it was hilarious, and I'm counting on you.
I'll warm them up for you.
Okay, so here was the deal. Jack told me this story. He said he made a movie, I think it was called The April Fools, with Geneviève Bujold, I think. I could be wrong, but that was, I believe, the movie. And he wasn't really, they finished the film, premiere was coming, he decided to go to the premiere, and he asked Walter to come to the premiere with him because he wanted to know if Walter thought he did okay in the movie, and it was a worthwhile project. So they sat through the screening of the premiere, they're leaving the movie, and Jack turns to Walter and he says, what do you think of the movie, Walter? And he says, is there any way you can get out of it?
Yeah, that works.
It was a great line.
That's a great line.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a Groucho Marx line.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. Great.
Who got the box? Yes, sir.
Woo.
I just wanted to ask you guys, joining into the Star Trek universe, it looks like a two-edged sword. Or how do y'all feel about it? Because you got to, you jumped into the next generation, and you're part of that universe from an actor's standpoint. Working, how is that two-edged sword help or hurt both of y'all?
You want to take that one?
I mean, go ahead. You have more.
Well, I mean, for
experience.
me, you're absolutely right. It is a double-edged sword, but it's one edge of the sword is much sharper than the other, and and what I mean by that is the negative connected with it is so minuscule, really, compared to the enormity of the positive that we have all received as a result of it. Everything is good about it, except I have this one thing that I don't care for particularly, and that's if I'm in an airport or something and somebody comes up to me and they go, Data! And I don't know why. I just have this involuntary sort of, my eyes roll and I'm like, and my son, I have a 13-year-old son, and he says, why do you do that? Why do you have to roll your eyes? Why can't you just be nice? And I'm like, I don't know. It's just something about when people yell a fictional character's name at my face. I feel like it negates all the rest of my life and all the years that I have ever been me, and reduces it to that few years. It's okay. No, don't apologize.
We're all parents.
I feel the same way.
You don't mind if
Yeah.
I start crying, do you?
I'm feeling a little teary myself. Oh, okay. Anyway, I asked my son, I said, listen, how would you feel if we saw Harrison Ford and I went up to him and I went, Indy! And he said, oh, I'd be okay with that. And I said, no, you wouldn't. Why do you say that? He said, because you wouldn't do that. And, no, I wouldn't. But that's the only thing, really. I mean, being identified with a character, you know what? It happens. And a lot of people are identified with a particular character. But we've all done a lot of work. And I think at the end of the day, it's just one of the characters. It really is just a, I still like being me best,
I think, too, we came into television, into this series at a little bit of a different time than, the 60s, when actors really had a tougher time being so identified in a television show that it was very hard for them to get work elsewhere. I mean, I worked with the great Fred Gwynn,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, who talked a lot about
Who was a wonderful, I could do so
versatile,
many things.
incredibly
Yeah.
versatile New York stage actor
Yeah.
and classically trained actor, and you know was gifted with the Munsters, which was, you know, an extraordinary run of a TV show and iconic. But when he went from, you know, having like a big house and a lot of money and the star of his own TV show to zilch and couldn't get arrested and literally had to go back to New York and start all over again until, you know, Francis Ford Coppola basically gave him a part in the Cotton Club. He kind of got seen again and was recognized again. But again, television was changing in the 80s when we were working on the show. So we had a little bit of an easier time with being able to move around a little bit and not just be so trapped in that show.
Interesting question, though. Thank you. Who's got the box? Okay. You have to let go of it.
Okay. I have a question for both of you, but I guess maybe a little bit more for Denise. I don't know. Both of you have been, to varying degrees, involved in Star Trek for a while. And so I was just curious about what aspect of the show, of the series, means the most to you as either an actor or as a participant in the show.
Well, I think this kind of experience, the people I've met, you know, the lives that have been touched by this show, the stories that have been shared with me, these personal stories, take on so much to me and mean such a great deal. It's inevitably, when I've been at any one of these conventions over the years, somehow my heart is truly touched by someone in over the weekend, and in various ways. So that has been probably the most significant thing that I will walk away from this experience of Star Trek. That'll be what it'll be about for me.
Yeah, no doubt. That is totally it. It's, you know, it's hard to argue with waves of love coming at you, which we have the benefit of. I mean, people are so sweet and so great to us, but really, I never do a convention that somebody doesn't come up, more than one person come up at some point and say, well, I'm an astrophysicist because I was so into the show it changed my life, or today a young fella came up, I had Asperger's, and when I was a kid, the only character I could relate to was Data on television. So moving. And a young fellow came up yesterday. He had been in Iraq, and there'd been a concussion, and he'd lost his memory, but he remembered me and Star Trek. And I mean, you know, really, our objective was to entertain and to make a living when we started.
Absolutely not
And,
complicated.
No. And
You guys are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You know?
but the ancillary qualities of it, I never dreamed about how it impacted people's lives and then impacted us as well.
And yeah, you know, there is no question that I am a better person having been through this experience, because it has taught me, it has opened my heart and made me more empathic. And, you know, and what a great gift, you know, to be able to share with people and their personal lives in a way that this is unique. This is absolutely unique.
I'm so glad Marina wasn't here when you said you'd become empathic.
What
did you say?
Not that I know. I'd be stealing her thunder, I'm sure. You know what I mean.
Yeah. Anyway, It's awesome.
So we'll throw the box over to this side.
Yeah, let's get the box over here.
We'll go back and forth. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, good catch.
So this question is for both of you because you're both you seem really into your craft. And I have an audition for a play in like 4 hours. It's a cold reading. Do you guys have any last-minute advice for me on what I could do to?
Go home.
Go home and study your lines.
It's a
What are
cold
you
reading.
doing
I don't
here?
have them. I don't have the lines. It's a cold reading. So
It's a cold reading.
Oh, it's a cold reading.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, you know what? Walk into that room and just say, I am so excited to show you what I've got. Because, seriously, you know, you got to think, I'm about to give you a gift. And the gift is me. And
I'm a gift.
And
Okay.
drop our names. You know, just say I was just hanging out with Brent and
Yeah.
Denise.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
And you know, we were just
And-
talking about acting and anyway.
I've
I'm
always
ready.
found, too, by the way, that it's helpful to start with an apology. I've actually done that before. I've gone into an
oh, yeah.
audition. I say, you know, they say that you should never start anything with an apology, and I just like to say I'm terribly sorry. And
Did you
and
get
then I
that part
begin.
though?
So, question two-part, whatever. It's a two-person panel. One for Denise first, in the positive.
Question
Could
A.
you? Yes. Question A. Part the first. Denise, what was it like being in the role of Tasha Yar at that time, breaking glass ceilings and jaws and like shunning stereotypes? Because the one episode that I don't remember the name of with the patriarchal society, where you have the fight in the sort of gymnast thing with the death glove.
Code of honor.
Code of honor.
Code of honor.
Code of honor. One of
Everyone's
my
favorite.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite.
Love
Oh,
a judo
yeah.
flip. And part 2B is for Brent.
Oh.
In that, in the 23rd century, why is the construct of comedy making Tip O'Neill in address jokes / Joe Piscopo?
Why is making Tip O'Neill in address jokes / Joe Piscopo? Is that a sentence?
Why is Joe Piscopo the construct of comedy that late in our future? Because that sounds grim to me.
All right, you go
Wow.
first. You had.
Wow.
I mean,
Wait, I'm tripping on that question. Okay.
You had A.
I had A. Let me remember. Well, thank you for. I think I should thank you for the compliment. Yes, it was lovely. Yeah. So Tasha Yar was pretty formidable, pretty badass, no question. And I just wish, you know, the notion of Tasha Yar was so great. I mean, I loved the idea and the concept of this character. I just wish there would have been, you know, some more solid writing, you know, for her to really sink my teeth into. But yeah, she was a little firecracker, no doubt. And one of the great things that I've heard many times over the years is especially from young women who, you know, were young girls watching the show and really hadn't seen any character like that for them to identify with, and really found it empowering and just kept, you know, taking that forward, that energy forward. So to be part of that is really probably the greatest compliment I've received, for sure.
And B, Joe Piscopo. Well, yes, in the 24th century, comedy doesn't work so well anymore. It devolved into Joe Piscopo. No, Joe was a really nice guy. I mean, matter of fact, Michael Dorn used to say to me that what the premise of that episode, somewhere in there, he was a stand-up comic, and I programmed him to teach me stand-up comedy, so I understood comedy better. And he taught me how to do a Jerry Lewis impression, and then he did it, and then I did it. And Dorn would say, "You're so mean-spirited." And I'm going, "Why do you say that?" And he said, "You know you're doing a better Jerry than he is." I said, "Well, what am I to do?" Yeah. Who's got the box? Yeah.
Woo!
Denise, my favorite documentary of all time, Trekkies 1. My second favorite, Trekkies 2.
Wow.
Okay, so with the 50th anniversary coming and the reboot that happened and the whole new generation coming, my kids included, can we get a 3?
Yeah.
Is that coming?
We're gonna get a 3. I've begun to put
Cha-ching.
stuff together, and I've approached Paramount. I can't do it without Paramount's involvement because that's the
Right.
satanic deal I
Yes.
made with the
We all
first or
understand.
second one. But believe me, they're right to do it. I just have to position it. In 2019, which will be here before we know it, the film reverts back to me, the ownership of Trekkies 1. So that will be my leverage, and I'm going to hold them hostage.
They were fabulous.
Because Trekkies has made nothing but money for them from the day we made it. So, they should hang on to it. But I want them to do it, and plus I have a lot of footage that I never used in the original with all of,
Trekkies Redux.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can give them a higher def, version. I'd like to clean it up. I'd like to add, some extras, some interviews I have with Leonard, with DeForest, with Jimmy Doohan. I have a lot of footage that I, couldn't use, and I think it'd be really wonderful to have these interviews, as extras. So hopefully, I've got a plan in mind. I just have to be
All right.
patient.
We'll keep an eye out. And then Brent, thank you for being my favorite android of all time. But I will never come up to you in an airport and say, Data!
Yeah, please.
There you go.
Thank you so much for being so sensitive.
Quick question.
All right.
There's a rumor that CBS has got a new series coming,
They do?
right?
I don't know.
CBS.
No, I've heard that.
No, and there's a rumor that Brent Spiner is involved in it.
Where'd you hear that?
I don't know. It's on.
I mean, wouldn't you think I would have heard that?
Is there? I'm asking you if you are, and if you are, is there anything you can tell us about it that,
You know
that
what?
Paramount and CBS will not kill you for?
I am not in it.
Not in it.
No.
Oh, no,
I've not been.
No more of the
I mean, maybe
series?
I am, and they just didn't tell me.
Okay.
Which often
Well,
happens.
honestly,
Yeah.
my husband, who had to leave with the little ones, is the one who told me that. So he is going to get a talking to when
Yeah.
I catch up with him.
I don't blame you. I would punish him. Yeah.
Okay, I've got the box.
Oh, you've got
I
it.
don't have really a deep and meaningful question. I really just wanted to say hi.
Oh, well, that's pretty
well,
deep and
that's
meaningful to me.
Here, my dad wants to ask.
Thank
something.
you.
My dad wants to ask something, so.
How cute is she?
Oh, God.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I just wanted to say that I'm one of those many scientists out there that you guys helped make, and thank you for that.
Oh,
but
please.
a question for Denise, actually. I'm a huge fan, and I also play the Star Trek Online game. So I wanted to ask, what are the challenges of voice acting versus screen acting?
Well, we were just talking about, it's so strange because you're standing there, with just a mic, and you've got to connect with these lines that, have no other person you're playing off of. But you've got to figure out the context and, somehow make these lines believable, without the imagination doing, the scene for you. You've got to really get inside your head. I love doing it because it has its own unique challenges, but also, you show up in your pajamas, and it's really it's something refreshing about that. I don't have to wear mascara for once in my life. So I've really enjoyed. It's actually funny because the online game for me, for the character of Sela, was like far more interesting and developed than on the TV show. So it's like the series ended, and I never got to really fulfill this character, of Sela. And it took the online game to really give it, some depth. It's been fun.
Yeah.
What
Well,
kind of
thank you.
scientist are you?
I'm a chemical physicist, so I do work with biofuels.
Cool.
Toss it.
And I forgot to say something.
Hurry.
Both Tasha Yar and Data the Android, they're both my favorite characters. He forces me to watch it, by the way.
He forced you,
All right.
strapped you down.
Thank you.
I like it.
Oh, great. I get the honor now. What's
Better be good. No pressure.
All right, I'll stand up. Thank you. Considering we've now seen Zachary Quinto play Spock in the reboot or the alternate timeline, if they did an alternate timeline Next Generation, who would you want to be playing your characters? Yes, good question.
Well,
Thank you.
I know.
You have the best.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know if you know who she is, but Tilda Swinton, I would like to see play Data. I think
Wow. Well,
maybe she could play UR too.
she could play both.
She could,
actually.
you know.
She could play the entire cast. As a matter of fact,
That's what I'd like to see.
I think that's the way to go.
Yeah.
You know, none of these, hot young stud puppies playing us. I think Tilda Swinton should play all of
Everybody.
us. We'll leave it at that.
So now, before we leave, I just want to ask, was this the best panel you went to? Thank you. I told you. Thanks, everybody.
Give it up again, guys. Let's send them off right.